Alright, stream should be live. Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit here, getting a lot of buys coming in.
I really wish DoorDash would dump like half of the shitty ass restaurants they list on their site and just keep the good stuff.
Yeah. Nice delta coming in. Buyers stepping in on Bitcoin. SPY still hasn't really done much. Still hovering around that 618 of the sell-off. PLTR back below 20. Coinbase looks like it's about to break out. EOS. You have a 5-minute sell signal towards the top. You haven't given a buy yet. Watch out for that next buy. Reef was one I think I mentioned in the analysis. Look at that candle, Jesus. I think it was one of the ones that had a buy signal on the OTS. Wi-Fi ripping as well. I think Wi-Fi had a pivot retest. Let me see. Yeah, it did. Hitting our targets around 74,000. Blew through our 65,000 targets. Dude, everything is ripping. Holy shit. Doge bouncing off the initial breakout point. Yeah, almost half the crypto on FTX is ripping.
Hey Deja, what do you think of Ray right here?
Let me see. Bouncing off pivot looks pretty good. It's got a sell signal on the bot, but it has a buy signal on the OTS. And you're also bouncing off the like initial breakout. I think anything above 12 is okay. If that daily buy signal or sell signal turns off, it would look a lot better. Bitcoin's bouncing right off support at 546. The only bad news that I've seen recently that could have caused the stock market to gap down like that was the pipeline news. Everything else was very minimal. Nothing was strong enough to have a gap down like that except for the pipeline. Looks like we need another stimulus. Yeah, right. Hey, Justo, Slayer, Abu, Agars, Chad. I think I got everybody. I need the supply and demand indicator that you have. It is very nice. Which one do you mean? The Israel stuff wouldn't cause that? It definitely could be part of it for sure. Definitely could be part of it. Slayer, I don't think the market is pricing in inflation going up right now. I think it was just partly due to the technicals were pretty bad. ES was very toppy, or basically not finding any buyers above that 4,200. Then you had the pipeline news. You have what's going on in Israel. You have a bunch of talks about inflation, but they haven't actually told us that inflation was going up yet. I think they said, what did they say? I just read it earlier. I think it was like the short-term inflation is higher than expected, but long-term it's still steady. What Israel stuff? Israel and Hamas are bombing each other again. Not too new. They've been bombing each other for a long time, but it seems like it is getting a lot more serious than it typically does. They fired like 130 rockets in the past like 48 hours. But for right now, the stock market's not too bad. It's holding VWAP. Very nasty candle on ES. It's engulfing nearly the entire top right here, the distribution. But you do have a buy signal coming in on the OTS, and you're holding VWAP. If this closes below VWAP, below 41.31, that's where I'd be worried for continuation. Right now, NASDAQ is holding an old VWAP, and ES is holding the local VWAP. So, very bad candle, but it's holding support. If you lose support, then I would be worried for continuation. As far as crypto goes, Bitcoin is holding a major support. We need to get back above 56.6, which we're currently testing. If you can close like around 57,000, that would look a lot better. Oh, I've got a couple of indicators that draw the lines. The dotted ones here are from the OTS, the Oasis Trading Suite. They're pivots. And then the bot that we currently have draws the support and resistance lines. The bot is currently not public. It should be public pretty soon. Got to finish a lot of backtesting. Do you think the inflow-outflow of Bitcoin on exchanges holds any merit? I don't watch that sort of stuff. That's more of a macro thing. Really the only thing that would show you for like as a retail trader is like the flow of smart money, I guess you would say. But as a retail trader, that's not tradable information. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to see something like that and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to take a trade based on this. I try to focus on tradable information, which for the most part is just what I see on the chart, the technical stuff. I follow a lot of stuff on Twitter too, just to make sure the sentiment is still kind of where you think it is. I don't really watch all the macro stuff like the hash rates or are the miners profitable or not, like stuff like that. I don't really care. It's definitely helpful, but for people like me that are getting in and out in a day or two, maybe sometimes less, excuse me, sometimes less, it doesn't matter, you know. Think SPY will try and fill the gap above, or we close above support? If we close above support? Yeah, that'd be the easy target. If it closes above VWAP, you would be targeting a gap that you put in today, which goes up to like 418. SPY is at a place where it's giving you easy targets on both sides. You've got gaps below you at 406 and 400, and then you have gaps above you at 418. The problem is finding the direction. There is no direction. What do I think about Doge? It looks decent, honestly. You're holding this pivot, the previous high. You basically bottomed on it almost to the tick. And you're bouncing off of it already. So as long as you hold that like 40-cent level, it's okay. The problem is, like, if you got in here, that's pretty far away. It's like 20%. So unless you bought the support, you're kind of getting a little late here. You could fly up to like 65 again. That's the next pivot. But yeah, right here would have been your entry. You probably would have waited for some little bit of confirmation, so maybe around like 46, 45 would have been the bounce. But up here is a little high. You want me to take a look at something, Justo? Damn, I said what, 130? It's 630 now? 630 rockets fired from Gaza to Israel since yesterday? Jesus. What do I think of Tesla? Let me take a look. Tesla bottomed a little early. My target, my next bearish target. Let me actually pull it up. I'll show you. Oh, actually, it's bouncing right off that first level. So 601 was the first level. The next level was 558. So we bounce here. The next level is 632. And then a little bit of resistance around 650. You get above that, 666, and then 711. So bouncing off this support here. Next major level is 632. If you lose 601, like 600, probably going to go down to 558. But nice bounce so far. I think you filled the gap already. US 500, isn't that just the S&P 500? Yeah, it's just the S&P 500. It's the same exact thing as ES that I show all the time. When I show ES, that is the S&P 500. I think their charts are identical. Yeah, damn near identical. Yeah, no problem, Jizzo. What's the bot? This is the bot. Just gives you
So easy,
levels.
a caveman can do it.
Yeah, it just gives you buy, sell levels. It's really simple. There's nothing fancy to it. The take profits, the buy and sell labels, the levels, that's all from the bot. The candle coloring is from the bot. And then everything else I'm adding on, that's not from the bot. Like, that's just an EMA ribbon. These are monthly VWAP levels. And then this is the Momo down here. Bitcoin topping out a little bit here. You're in a 1 hour buy, no 4 hour yet. Still in a daily, so it hasn't flicked off the daily yet. 15 minutes still in a buy as well. Hitting a lot of resistance though. It's taken profit 4 times. YM is putting in the first orange daily pivot since 2018. Let's take a look. It did top out pretty hard, so it wouldn't surprise me. I actually don't see that pivot. Is it putting it in on this candle right now? I don't have my candle colors turned on. Let me go to my other chart. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's putting it in this candle. Yeah, so that's not too good. When was the last time I put in one of those? And what did it do? Why not have these pivots on? I don't have them on. That would help. There we go. Last time I put in one was at 26,000, and then it broke through it instantly. You had a little bit of a pullback for a few days. Look at how strong that pivot became. That pivot was retested many times. Yeah, look at that. Look at that pivot that I put in. It was retested beautifully in 2020. So we'll have to see this candle close, and then we'll have to wait a few days to see what it does. But that last time I put in one of those pivots, it was very, very strong. Those pivots will last years typically. Like they'll be in effect for a long time. Little breakout coming on Bitcoin here, 5-minute buy signal. How did you know to set that pivot? The indicator does it for me. It's just based on a formula that I give it. The pivots take into account price and volume. I originally designed the OTS because the Momo, the one at the bottom here, this does not take into account volume. So that's the only place that it lacks. So then I built the OTS to combine with the Momo because the OTS is heavily focused on volume. Volume delta still positive. Did you guys buy Shiba? We have a couple guys in the group that bought into it, but I didn't. Can you take a look at Rocket and see if it's showing any buy signals? Yeah, I'll take a look. What's your opinion on gold and commodities? Do you think their bullish run is over, or maybe a correction? No, I think gold and commodities will continue to trend upward for the meantime. They're breaking out of massive downtrends. Like gold is breaking a massive downtrend. So unless it's a major fake out, it should continue no problem. No, Rocket has been in a sell signal since March 18th. The weekly is also in a sell signal. The 4-hour just sold a couple days ago. So it looks pretty bad. 15's trying to put in a buy, but that's about it. 5-minute bought the lows down here. So it's starting to shift on the low time frames, but high time frames are still pretty bad. How is the daily looking for Bitcoin? It's not bad, man. I think it needs to get above 566, which it currently is. So it needs to close up here. If it closes up here, I think it looks fine. It bounced off a major support. Where are my drawings? Here you go. It bounced off a major support down here like 546. And now we're back above the 566 resistance. So it's not looking too bad. How are my 3x bull tokens doing? Not bad. I'm still underwater on these. I bought them around like 58, I think. So still underwater a little bit. Yeah, down about 11%. Pretty small size though, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to hold on to them for a little bit. Volume delta still positive. He said, I closed my trades, but mainstream media reporting on it scares me. There's inflation all over the world, but still. What were you referring to? Oh, commodities? Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I think if they actually reported the real inflation numbers, I think commodities would be tearing. They're trying to hide it, though. I'm still in my silver trade, but I'm going to be closing it very soon. I started closing up my positions finally on my main account. I closed my FMAC position today. I closed my Snapchat position. I closed what else? I closed something else. And my PLTR puts. Did you close Tesla? I'm not in Tesla. Are you trading a lot on Bitcoin 5-minute? No, I don't scalp right now. I just show the low time frames on stream because they're easier to look at. Most of my trades are swing trades right now. I'm holding FTT, BNB. I've got 3x long Bitcoin. I've got Cake. Yeah, I'm still in Cake. Yep. I think it looked decent last time I looked at it. It pulled back with everything else when Bitcoin had that pullback, but it still looks good. Little bull flag here. You're still in a buy signal on the daily. 4 hour needs to flip back into a buy, and then it will look pretty good. 1 hour's in a buy. FTT still looks really strong. Where's BNB? BNB looks really good. Pretty safe bet holding the exchange coins. They do very well. Alright guys, I'm doing something real quick. No, I didn't watch the Saturday Night Live thing with Elon. I saw some clips, but it didn't really have it didn't have the effect on Dogecoin that people thought it would. It nuked it by like 40%.
It's the worst fucking show.
It's dog shit. One sec, guys. I have to mute the stream. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I've been muted for a little while. Something came up. I actually have to turn the stream off. I will be streaming again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, same time as always. Analysis will be tonight. If you guys are in Discord, it will be a little late, probably around like 11:30. I'm not going to be home for most of the day. And that's all I got for you guys. I will be streaming, like I said, tomorrow. If you guys are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, I got to go, guys. Sorry. Peace out, guys.